It's me, Brian. I just wanted to come on and say a couple things. I seen this post on Facebook. How'd it go? Oh, I can't remember exactly. I can't switch back to Facebook and read it again. But basically, it's saying, why do people keep voting for politicians who do nothing? Well, let's break that apart a little bit and analyze it. Okay, let's go back to Reagan. Well, before that, the policies of bettering the country from the Democrats were doing pretty damn good. If you do a little bit of history and studying, you'll see I'm speaking truth about that. Until Reagan got in office and started with his voodoo economics, his trickle down economics, which literally destroyed the middle class. Well, even the upper middle class, it destroyed. If you weren't already a multimillionaire when Reagan took office and they put in those voodoo economics, that have failed for over 50 years, well, 40 years at least, anyway. And Republicans keep pushing those policies. Why? What good is that those policies of the Republican Conservative Party have bettered American lives and have bettered the American experiment? You see what they all led up to. You see what's going on right now. Simple truth, simple fact. Uh, and again, you always heard, for years I've heard this, even from somebody I thought was a friend. Oh, the deep state is run and owned by the Democratic Party. Look what's going on. Well, if you open your friggin' eyes and see what's really going on, you would see and understand that it is the conservative Republican Party that is pushing the deep state. Again, I go back to history. History proves what I'm saying to be correct. Who supposedly runs the deep state? The rich and the wealthy. Who always gives massive tax cuts and corporate welfare to the rich and corporations? Conservative Republicans, not Democrats or liberals. Again, simple truth, simple fact. It'd take you about a half hour to just look up facts and statistics, and you will see that I'm speaking truth. You know, when Clinton left office, he left America with a, I can't remember the billions in surplus, but it only took less than a year or two at the most for Bush to wipe it out. Why? Because they started giving massive tax cuts and corporate welfare to the wealthy and corporations, which drove the deficit up, which drove the debt up. And then they lie about social programs, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and others causing the debt to rise. Well, that's a fallacy. It's a lie. And statistics prove it. And yet, conservative Republicans will continue to vote for conservative Republican politicians who do nothing for them. Just look what happened a couple months ago. They put Lindsey Graham back in office. Why? They put Mitch McConnell, the so-called Grim Reaper of the Senate, who literally destroyed the Senate for money and power. That's a fact. Look it up. For 8 years under the Obama administration, Republican conservatives, along with Mitch McConnell's leadership, filibustered and blocked everything that they could. And Mitch McConnell even come out saying that he would do nothing nothing for the American people as long as Obama was president. Why? And then who's running the so-called deep state? Well, you've been seeing that going on. I'd say for 5 years, really. It really come out as soon as Trump started running for president. You seen it. You saw it. Conservative Republican politicians did everything they could to help him lie to get elected. And now look what they're doing with Jim Jordan, Tom Cruise, and what the hell is that other guy's name, Hesse or whatever. You know, just think. Just think. God gave you a brain to reason and think. I'm sorry I can't post this to Twitter. I don't know if it's going out to Twitter or not because I was suspended because they said I was bullying the traitor retard Trump. Even though Trump has been belittling, attacking, harassing, and bullying everybody that he could for 5 years, now after what happened last week or the week before on Wednesday, they finally completely suspended him forever, indefinitely. But that's also a fallacy because eventually Twitter will let him on again. I'm willing to bet money on it. Twitter will allow Trump to be back on Twitter to spread more bullshit, lies, misinformation, bigotry, and hate and violence. You know, and that because he makes them money. It's all about the money, the almighty dollar to Twitter and Facebook and all these other platforms that were allowing him to do it. I'm just saying. It's and again, let's go back to basically what the saying was that why do people keep voting for politicians who do nothing to help them? Well, how come and it's statistically proven throughout history, conservative Republicans continue to vote for people who do nothing for them. Why? Why? What party started fake news? Quote unquote. Ronald Reagan, when he denied, well, along with conservative Republicans in Congress, denied the reenaction of the so-called what's it called, the Fairness Doctrine Act. Look it up. It's a fact. They would not let it come to the floor and be voted on and be reinstated. To this day, conservative Republicans in Congress will not, Mitch McConnell will not allow that to come up to the floor to be debated on or voted for. Why? 2 years after Ronald Reagan did that, fake Fox News went on the air with his buddy Rupert Murdoch. That's also a fact. Look it up. It really is. It's a fact. It's a documented fact at that. You know, and again, yeah, I have the news on. You can see their new video that just come out from the traitors attacking Congress, Trump worshippers, QAnon believers. Look at the Republican politicians that have been voted into office. QAnon worshippers. What's QAnon? QAnon is a retarded fake religion saying Trump is God. And Republican voters voted for two of their politicians and put them in office. So again, there you go. I'm it's a fact. Yeah, that's why people hate me or like me because I won't pull punches. I will not censor myself for your ignorance and stupidity to be coddled. You don't like what I speak, the truth? Don't listen. Do your own homework. Like I said, it take you about an hour to verify everything that I have said, and you'll come to see that everything I have said for the last four, or even before that, but for the last 4 years, has been truth and factual. Every time somebody would ask me, well, "Oh, is it going to get better?" I said, "No. You think it's bad now? You wait." So everything I spoke, I told them it's going to get worse, and it did. From Trump lying about the coronavirus to almost 400,000 Americans dead because of Trump and conservative Republican policies. Fact. I'm not going to lie about it. I know I look terrible. This weather, I'm trying to get out and get in more walking and stuff. But yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever why somebody would post that would post that on their timeline when they voted for Trump and a Republican politician. And yet they post that post. Why would people keep voting for politicians who do nothing for America? So what does that make you? It makes you what is called a hypocrite. Again, fact and truth. I consider myself an independent. As an independent, as I said it before, I can sit back and watch the actions and policies of both parties. And again, I ask, what policy has Trump put in place that bettered the country, other than spread hate, ignorance, violence, and stupidity and bigotry? He did that running while he was running for office the first time, and yet you still voted for him. Why? Why? Search your heart, search your mind, and figure yourself out before you start blaming everybody else for what happened. Because what happened is your fault. You voted for him. You put him in office. You praised him and enabled him and allowed him to continue to shit on the Constitution and rule of law from day one. I didn't. I didn't vote for him. So I can say that with confidence. I knew what he was when he was running for office back in 2015. All you had to do is watch his speeches. And because you denied yourself to listen to what was really going on and what he was really saying, along with the Republican conservatives in the Congress and Senate that were backing him, even now they're saying it, how they worship Trump. Why? What has he done? Why do these other Republican conservative politicians keep bowing down to Trump? Why? It's simple questions. And simple questions you need to ask yourself. You know, oh Lord, I don't, I just don't get it. I really, really don't. Like I said, I may be slow, but I'm not stupid. I know how to fact check things. I pray every day for God to give me the wisdom to keep looking for truth and fact. And you see these so-called veterans were involved in the attack. What does that tell you about their so-called loyalty and oath that they took when they served? When they attacked our government like they did, to me, they're shit. They're not veterans. because they shit on their oath that they took standing with their hand raised to God and man. And they shit on it. They shit on that oath. So to me, you're worthless. You don't deserve veterans benefits or nothing, as far as I'm concerned, because you don't give a fuck about the Constitution that you swore to protect. Forgive my language. And then you see them on there on the news and stuff on the video clips saying, "Oh, Jesus." Well, none of them believe in Jesus, or they would not be doing what they are doing. They would not be following an orange demon like Trump, who has been a criminal his whole life. You know, it makes no sense. None. Oh, you see, yeah, you see that? Uh, that mug was given to me by a seaman, a Navy man. His name was Tom Langham. He gave that to me before he passed away. I don't know why, but he was a good man, honorable man. You know, I don't know what happened to the so-called honor and virtue of these ex-veterans who decided to side themselves with a traitor like Trump, who choose to believe QAnon bullshit, fake news coming out of Breitbart, far right wing media. Those are the real. That's the real fake news because they lie about everything to protect Trump. Why? Why does conservative Republicans want an authoritarian dictatorship in America instead of freedom, instead of liberties? Why did they pass the so-called Citizens United Act, which sold our government basically to corporations? Why did they post or vote and put in place the so-called Patriot Act, which again sold and destroyed our government for the rich and powerful? Look, even now, the rich and powerful are sending tens of thousands of dollars to be pardoned. They're buying pardons, which is illegal. And yet the conservative Republican Party will allow it, will not stand up and say anything about it. Look how Manafort was pardoned. He's a convicted felon criminal who should be in prison for the rest of his life for being a traitor. Roger Stone, another one, who is a convicted criminal who should be in prison for the rest of his life for what he did. Flynn, another traitor to the Constitution and a traitor to his oath of office, a traitor to his oath of being a military man. Trump pardoning. And Republican conservatives say and do nothing. All they'll say is, well, Democrats did it. When? Show me proof of that. You can't. I say again, you can't. You cannot prove that Democrats ever did what is going on right now. Ever throughout American history. And then I see where they post, how'd she say it? Well, why do Democrats think Republicans are bad people? Well, look what's going on. Over 74 million people voted for Trump. Why? Most of them are Republican conservatives, and to this day, they keep worshiping Trump. Why? I'm asking a simple question. Oh, I guess they didn't like what I was saying. Facebook won't allow you to talk to me now. You can talk to me if you're on Periscope. Periscope is still up. I'm live streaming to Periscope and to my YouTube channel. I could only read only on Facebook. Facebook did something again since they added this new update. Now they will not allow, which is wrong. Again, that's why Facebook Nazism censorship. I did nothing wrong. I don't speak propaganda, lies, and bullshit like Trump and his worshippers did. Everything I say can be fact checked and verified. I fact check and verify everything. I write it down to make sure. Uh, yeah, I already said that. Why are Republican conservatives voting for and putting in place QAnon people who believe in conspiracy theories with no proof, no fact of anything, but they'll spread the lie, which caused what happened last Wednesday or the Wednesday before. Uh, Here, I wrote this down. Here's food for thought. Let's see if I can read it out. Because of the actions of Trump and conservative Republicans, a Republican America has now become a police state. Fact. Look at all the military all over the country, all over protecting our capitals, state capitals, and our capital in Washington. That's a picture of a police state, and Republican conservatives, along with Trump, caused it. Fact. Yeah, yeah. Again, you're seeing just how Trump was able to blind, lie, and bamboozle and con his so-called worshipers and followers. They have become an occult. They are not a party. They are an occult. 5 people died because of this occult that worships Trump for some reason. And the evangelicals like Franklin Graham, who helps, is going to hell because he's lying to your face about the demon that's in the White House called Trump and his family. It's truth and fact. It really is. Well, I just wanted to come on and make a little broadcast. I'm still fighting with Twitter to let me back on, but they won't answer me either. I don't even know if they'll let this fully be posted on Periscope, even though I use Facebook to sign up to Periscope and not Twitter. Well, wish it had a timer. It's a scheduler, but there's no timer on it, or I can't remember how to put a timer up to let me know how long I've been streaming. But I'm going to sign off now. I might be back on later, but I am going to make a radio broadcast, and then I got to make my podcast as well. Oh well, you just take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe. Be careful. Wear a mask always. Wash your hands and face very often. Listen to the doctors, the nurses, and the scientists who know what they're talking about. Don't believe the crap that's coming out of far right media where they're saying, "Oh, you take this shot, they're going to implant you with a tracker." Ah! Propaganda, bullshit. If they were going to implant you with a tracker, they would have already done it. Look how many years you've been out there getting the flu shot and a pneumonia shot. It would have already been done. So by you saying that, you just turned yourself into a moron who believes far right wing bullcrap. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. I send my love, honor, and peace to you all. Peace.